Tonight, tempers flare over the Inland Rail project.
A fire evacuates the Toowoomba hospital.
Frustration increases over CBD construction work.
And the City Hall Theatre to have a facelift.
Across the Darling Downs and beyond, this is 7 News with Rob Ruff and Katie Tony.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening.
Tempers flared this afternoon over the increasing conflict surrounding the Inland Rail project. The federal member for Maranoa has called for calm, saying an independent review needs to be done as soon as possible.
Rumours of behind-door fighting between the region's politicians spilled over when federal member for Maranoa, David Littleproud, suggested everyone involved in the Inland Rail debate take a cold shower.
Well, he can be the first one in the shower.
Everyone just needs to take a deep breath, relax, and let us get on with the job.
It's been suggested Toowoomba Regional Council jumped the gun by injecting $3 million into upgrading Stegar Road to enable freight transport, which may rely on the Inland Rail taking the Millmerran route.
We're getting a bypass built, which goes very close to there. The existing rail line is being enhanced, upgraded, thanks to the state government. And no, I wouldn't accept that.
Southern Downs Mayor Tracy Dobie has joined the debate, saying it makes more financial sense for the Inland Rail to include the corridor through her region, already owned by QR.
That goes from Gundawindi up around Warwick to Toowoomba. The corridor is already there, it's already owned by the state, so why not make use of that?
Mr Littleproud, Mayor Dobie and Southern Downs MP Lawrence Springborg are calling for an independent review, and that is likely to occur.
There's no reason why a few months looking at what is the right route to go through Queensland is time well spent. It's not time wasted at all. I don't think it'll have a delay on the project.
We've got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get this corridor right. We can't rush it. We need to make it happen, but we need to get it right.
Sophie Tetzlaff, 7 News.
A small fire caused disruptions at the Toowoomba hospital this morning. Emergency services were called to Peachy Street just before 8 a.m. when smoke started coming from the 5th floor of an administration building. Fire was out by the time crews arrived, but smoke caused problems for about 2 hours. Staff were evacuated as a precaution while the crews investigated.
The officer in charge has evacuated this section of the building, both laterally and down.
Staff were allowed back into the building at around 10 a.m.
CBD shop owners have vented their frustrations at council, claiming construction is disrupting their businesses. It comes as work begins to change parking arrangements and upgrade the drainage on Ruthven Street.
Shop owners marched into City Hall, hoping to have their voices heard.
They came forward, presented a few ideas that they had. We take them on board. Obviously, we'll look at that, go away from that, and we'll come back to them with an answer in due course.
Their main issue is how long the construction work will last for.
The reason it's lengthy is that council has worked with the businesses so that access can be maintained and there'll be no road closures down there.
But the group was reluctant to speak on camera about their concerns, fearing it may undo their progress on the issue.
If they work with us and with our comms people, there should be no problem with accommodating their needs and what they need to keep their business open.
Not everyone is complaining though. Some store owners believe the facelift to the end of the street will be well worth the wait.
No, not at all. I mean, it's only going to make this part of town better in the long run, so I feel like, it's, not a big deal.
This has always been a very ugly end of the street, and now we're going to have beautiful trees and beautiful gardens, and it'll invite people into the area and make people feel very much more welcome.
Natalie Wayman, 7 News.
This week's downpour has significantly damaged a number of roads across the Southern Downs. Mayor Tracy Dobie says there are more than 6,000 kilometres of dirt roads in the region, and some stretches have become extremely dangerous, particularly where there's black soil.
Council has an ongoing maintenance and upgrade program for the dirt roads around the region. That's on hold at the moment while we do the emergency repairs in priority order for the dirt roads around the region.
Mayor Dobie is urging motorists to drive to the conditions and not through flooded roads.
The old City Hall Theatre is about to undergo a multi-million-dollar facelift. A local company has just been awarded the tender to restore the auditorium to its former glory.
It's been sitting unused and neglected for more than a decade. Now the Grand Old Theatre is being restored for just over $8 million.
It'll have capacity for some 400 people seated in the flat floor, large flat floor, mezzanine floor, some 200 seated people in rows. The stage will be preserved.
Many of the old building's original features will be incorporated in the theatre's restoration.
There's some stencil work from the 1900s. There's some wooden window frame type setups that were done in the 1930s, which didn't have a window behind it, interestingly enough, but they were just an airway. So they'll be restored.
It will become a central part of the Civic Centre and will open out onto the new library.
There's some extraordinary history in this building. When you consider Geoffrey Rush has performed on this stage, and it's just a shame that it hasn't been open since 2001.
Toowoomba company Northbuild Construction has been awarded the tender for the project. While most of Northbuild's work usually involves schools, Regional Manager Andrew Civil says the company is excited to take on the theatre challenge.
There's a few sort of special parts of it in terms of the windows and glazing. There's a lot involved in that.
It's hoped construction will be finished by mid-next year. Natalie Wayman, 7 News.
Former Gatton teenager is riding a wave of success after launching his own surfwear brand. Turtle Co started as just a scribble on a notebook during a Year 12 class and has now grown into a profitable business.
Jaden English isn't like most teenagers. At just 17, he's got his own clothing brand and is already stocking his product in stores.
Towards the end of school, I was getting bored in class. I'd do a couple of drawings and looking forward to finishing school. I was like, oh, I need a job, so started getting into it.
He officially launched Turtle Co in November last year.
My first piece of clothing was just a shirt with the logo that's seen on the hat here, and then got into the hat, just a little turtle on them, and it all started from there.
Since then, the business has grown rapidly.
It's picked up a lot. I'm in 3 stores now, which is pretty big. That's probably what I'm proud of most.
I thought it'd be nice to be able to showcase a local artist who obviously makes really good T-shirts and caps.
The clothes can also be bought online, a popular choice among his more than 9,000 social media fans.
I think that's my main selling point of social media, and Instagram mainly. It's been picking up a bit.
Jaden's now studying marketing and design at university, skills he hopes will help his brand grow.
Hopefully open up my own shop one day will be the biggest goal.
Mackenzie Rawn, 7 News.
A Toowoomba man is trying to set up a special program to help young people with learning difficulties. Lachlan Olm recently returned from a work trip to the United States and says we can learn a lot from their approach.
Lachlan Olm has just been on a life-changing holiday.
The biggest thing I got out of it is the experience for the young kids and just making them get out of their comfort zone.
With the support of his employer Yellowbridge, the 27-year-old spent 3 months at Talisman Camp in South Carolina.
When Lockie came in with the idea, we thought it was brilliant, great for him and great for what he would get out of it and bring back to our clients at Yellowbridge.
The camp caters for young people with ADHD, autism and Aspergers, encouraging them to get outdoors and try new activities.
Canoeing, hiking, rock climbing, different types of activities.
Lachlan said the program had a profound impact on young people.
Yeah, you definitely saw a change from when they came on day 1 to the last day, so definitely a big improvement in behaviour.
Lachlan's already started looking for locations to set up a similar summer camp in Toowoomba, and he has the support of his boss.
I think for any person, going away from home for 2 weeks is a great experience, but when it's fully tailored to people with a disability, there's exceptional experiences for them to have that they wouldn't get in their day-to-day life.
Emily Gayton, 7 News.
Toowoomba's Teapot extravaganza is fast becoming a carnival draw card for thousands of visitors. With more than 500 teapots and 400 tea towels on display, organisers say this year it's all about taking a step back.
Our theme this year is a walk down memory lane, so we endeavour to let people be so comfortable and just think about the past and make new memories for the future.
Kay says most of the teapots are on loan from members of the community and the exhibition is on until Saturday.
I wonder if you can get a cuppa.
You're a fair chance.
Next in 7 News, we'll find out what's happening across the region this weekend.
And we meet the Downs' longest-serving paramedic. Nice having you with us on 7 News. This week's local legend is the longest-serving paramedic on the Downs. Greg Hardy has been a member of the Queensland Ambulance Service for 40 years and has spent half his service in Warwick.
Officer in charge Greg Hardy left school at 16 with plans to join the police. It was his dad who talked him into becoming a paramedic.
Probably the greatest gift he ever gave me. It's been a wonderful service and a wonderful career, and yeah, I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
He's seen many changes over his 4 decades on the job, remembering his first years using wooden splints and little to no pain relief.
A drug we called Antonox, which is nitrous oxide and oxygen, which mums used to have delivering childbirth, and that was about it. And, you know, holding someone's hand was about as good as we could do.
Greg has seen his fair share of tragedies, but it's the positive difference he's had on people's lives that he treasures most.
Just seeing an elderly lady who's got nobody, she calls the ambulance and the ambulance can get her off to hospital, you know, put the dog out, put the cat out, you know, all those things really makes the job worthwhile.
He says the ambulance service is part of the Warwick community and is supported wholeheartedly. Greg has the experience to pass on to his younger counterparts, but believes they don't need it.
I think the ambulance is in really good hands. If I left tomorrow, I really believe we see our young people coming through. They're so capable. When I first joined, I had to get a first aid certificate after 6 months. Today they go to uni for 3 years.
There's no talk of retirement from Greg yet, but he's off on a well-earned holiday at the end of the year. Sophie Tetzlaff, 7 News.
Good on you, Greg. Great job, mate. Just a reminder, if you'd like to nominate someone for our local legend, email us at newstoowoomba@7.com.au.
There are plenty of activities on offer as the city celebrates the Carnival of Flowers. Andrea Frost has some tips on this weekend's festivities.
Hi everyone, well the fun of Carnival continues and there's a long list of events planned right across the region. Queen's Park is a hive of activity once again. In a first for Toowoomba, the Godsall Street Oval will come alive with horses and polo players on Saturday with a special spring polo event. And on Sunday, the annual Kids' Day Out is sure to be a winner with families. Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are in town for the event. And when the kids are done having fun, the family can head to the markets. And don't forget, the gardens are still in full bloom and there's a great lineup of musical entertainment planned for Council's major parks. The Carnival website has all the details, as well as all the other events that continue across the weekend. And first-class entertainment just keeps on coming at the Empire Theatre, with the Philharmonic Society taking to the stage with Grease the Musical. There's performances Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Head to the Empire's website to book your seat. And finally, if you're a comics fan, you should be heading down to Toowoomba's first open age comic convention. Kicking off at the City Library on Saturday morning, the event includes demonstration by special guest comic illustrators and the designer markets are on in the Civic Square. To find out about these events and more, head to Council's events register where you can also list your own upcoming event. Have a great weekend and I'll see you all again next week.
I'm going as the Phantom, taking the blue cattle dog with me. Comic-Con.
No one need. I think people that were about to have dinner have lost their appetite. You would not look good in purple.
Andrea, thank you for that. And let's move into the sport. We've got a baby Bronco, mate, heading back home after a big season.
This is a good story, Bruffy. It was a breakthrough year for Jerome Burns, but now he's facing stiff competition from someone he knows very well. We'll have more on that next. And the incredible journey for the youngest boxing trainer in Australia.